decided to adopt a minimalistic solution. There will be no speech by any AfD. There will be no panel position by any AfD member. And out of 1,000 invited participants, these are 3. Okay? So let's not get excited about it. Let's just think that this is a normal procedure in a democratic country.
Indeed, this is a normal procedure from a democratic country, as he is alleging. From over 1,000 participants, 3 AfD members will be invited to the conference, but with no chance of even giving a speech to represent the minority box that they are being pushed into, but rather they are just supposed to sit down and listen to lectures from the hypocritical lords of democratic governance just to suit the optics. If this is not just some window dressing for something they claim is called democracy, then what else? Hello and welcome again to the Edge of Politics podcast. Geopolitical Queen here with today's episode on the hypocrisy of some political leaders at the Munich Security Council meeting, which will be held in Munich on the 13th of February 2026. So what happened again? Wolfgang Ischinger, the chairman of the Munich Security Council, is claiming to understand democratic governance, but he is still applying some technicalities to deprive some members of society their rights to free speech because he doesn't like what they say. Can we all have the same opinion on all issues at the same time? Or Chairman Ischinger thinks we should all be like some obedient sheep following the shepherd to the slaughterhouse without questioning? Just take a listen to some of his comments.
When Christoph Heusgen took a decision 2 years ago not to invite the AfD, there was a concrete reason for that. The AfD had just walked out of a speech by President Zelensky in the German Bundestag, which was really something which made everybody, including myself, very, very angry.
This is the pathetic trajectory that some of these politicians do not understand. The AfD is a party with different views as compared to the obedient European vassals of the United States. They are now the largest party in opposition in Germany. Does Chairman Ischinger really think that if the AfD party members had the same views like all the other political parties, they would be in opposition? Now listen to one of the reasons why this MSC chairman was upset with the AfD.
Now, you chose deliberately to invite members of the far-right AfD party to the Munich Security Conference, unlike your successor and predecessor, Christoph Heusgen, when he was chairman of the MSC. He didn't invite the far-right AfD party because of them being categorized as partly right-wing extremist. Some people are saying that you gave in to American pressure. What's your reaction to that?
Well, first of all, there was never any kind of American pressure. That's just a myth. I've never been approached by anyone from the U.S. side about this at all. Second, I just want to make sure that everyone understands my sympathy for the AfD is close to zero. I have no sympathy for this party, but I need to recognize I am the head of a private foundation which runs a private, independent dialogue forum called the Munich Security Conference. And with what kind of democratic understanding will I take a decision to exclude categorically from my events the largest German opposition party. Look, when
What depravity and intolerance from people who claim to preach the gospel of liberalism, tolerance, and democracy. The AfD is a political party interested in protecting the affairs of Germany and not a black hole country like Ukraine, which president is not interested in seeking peace, but rather continuing fighting to enable him and his cronies drain out enough money from the European Union to build their golden toilets. Who didn't know that Ukraine was the most corrupt country in Eastern Europe before the special military operation started in 2022? Thanks to this corrupt country in Eastern Europe, Germany's Nord Stream pipelines were bombed, according to journalist Simon Hirsch, by the United States under the Biden regime. Germany is being deindustrialized for lack of cheap gas from Russia. Instead of these Europeans dragging this high heels dancing actor turned president known as Zelensky to the negotiation table to talk about peace, which will lead to the end of this special military operation, politicians like Wolfgang Ischinger are rather upset at those who are telling them the facts whilst they are sleepwalking into a war with Russia, a war which they can never win. Let's continue listening to the facts which he doesn't want to accept.
We've had elections in this country, and the AfD is now the single largest opposition party. Should I ignore that? They get themselves invited by our head of state. They are sitting in every single committee of the German Bundestag. And I really, I'm deeply opposed to the idea that by excluding them categorically, we should allow them to present themselves as being victimized again. So we decided to adopt a minimalistic solution. There will be no speech by any AfD. There will be no panel position by any AfD member. And out of 1,000 invited participants, these are 3. Okay? So let's not get excited about it. Let's just think that this is a normal procedure in a democratic country.
So what do you think? Is this the democracy of free speech that they are telling us? Or these are the vassals who can never fight for their freedom if even given to them on a silver platter? Well, kindly leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and thanks for tuning in. I will be back with the next broadcast. Good day.